So I have a 9 years old niece. She loves drawing and her arts are very, very cute. She absolutely enjoys doing it. But she hates math. Like she would cry when her mom took her to after school math lessons. Now, what will she be when she grow up? Well, we don't know yet, but given her natural inclination to artsy stuff, she would probably explore that type of career path, right? Most people think talking to their kids about career starts in high school. But what if I told you that it's much earlier than that? Hi, I'm Fatin. I wrote a whole dissertation about this topic, which means I dedicated an unimaginable long hours, blood, sweat, and tears to this research. Now, if you are a curious parent and you want the best for your child, tune in. If you're not yet a parent, but you do have little kids around you or a child that you may have in the future, you also want to tune in. Before we dive in, a disclaimer. This is a judgment free zone. Even if your kids have passed the age that I'm going to be talking about, there's never too late to look back and see what was your child's interest when they were younger. Here's what something you probably don't realize. The foundation for your child's future career satisfaction is being built before they even understand what a job means. As your child grows and starts to develop their own identity, they also build their career identity, which basically means what's something that I can do that aligns with my personality, my values, and interests. All right, let's start from the beginning, the early childhood. At the age of 2, children engage in pretend play, or also called imaginary play. They would pretend to be a Superman or a princess or Peppa Pig, whatever cartoon that they're watching. And this is one of their greatest tools to build creativity. When your little ones engage in imaginary play, there are no limits to what they can be, feel, say, or do. Pretend play allows children to explore different personas, curiosities, ideas, or emotions. Now, take an example of going to the doctor. To your child, this can be a confusing or scary experience. And to make sense of this scary experience, your child may pretend to be a doctor. This helps them to create an environment or a setting where they are in control. You might see them mimicking the doctor, using the stethoscope to feel the heartbeat or checking in the ears and the mouth. They are emotionally preparing themselves for what they don't understand and what might be scary. As they reach the age of 4 up until about 7, this pretend play becomes symbolic play and more complex and social in nature. Their story becomes more detailed and dramatic. Their play either involves more than one role play, or they would play with other kids, reenacting real life social interactions. So, to break it down, what's really happening is they're developing their first sense of self and independence. They are learning through play and role playing. Some researchers say that these may be early signs for career exploration. They're picking up ideas about gender stereotypes, what boys and girls should do, what kind of toys do boys and girls play. Their preferences for activities, toys, and interests are forming the building blocks of their future identity. So, their personalities, natural tendencies, and creativities, all sorts of things. So, what you should do as a parent or as an adult? First, observe your kid. How do they use toys as play props? Then, watch for what children's pretend play tells you about important cultural behaviors, like how you and your spouse interact with each other. The topic about your jobs came up. Engage with them, ask questions, have back and forth conversations with your kid. Follow their lead when engaging in the pretend play. When you're out and about, encourage them to interact with other people, even just saying hi, right? So, this helps with building social skills that will be important later in life. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be. Hey, I never thought of that. Let me think about that. Whoa.
I'm guessing these kids are between 7 to 11. For kids this age, you're not helping them pick their career yet. You are helping to build their characters, what kind of person they want to be. Now let's look at their development. At this age, children can think through problems logically and sort things into groups, but they can only deal with real, concrete situations that they can see or touch. For example, if your kid says,
I want to be a veterinarian.
and then you say,
Oh, first you have to go to college.
they may not know what a college is if they've never seen one or they don't have a sibling that goes to one. but they mostly know what a school is because they would go to school. You can say something like,
If you want to be a veterinarian, you need to go to school first, then get good grades, then go to big kids school.
which is college, right? How well children think at this level also depends on what happened in the earlier stage. If you encourage your kids' curiosity earlier on, they will be eager to explore and learn new things. But if their curiosity was discouraged or shut down, they may be afraid to try new experiences and won't know how to fit new information into what they already know. So, what's really happening at this stage? Your kid is developing real self knowledge. They start to understand their own interests, strengths, and preferences. They're starting to take in knowledge about comparing themselves to their peers or getting feedback from their teachers. The interests that they develop now can persist into adulthood, making this stage incredibly important. They can engage in some career exploration, like asking, "What does that person do?" And they're not doing fantasy or imaginary play anymore. This is when career identity begins to form. The child who loves building with Legos and shows persistent interest over months or years, pay attention to that pattern. So, what you should do? Connect their interests to real jobs.
You love taking care of your stuffed animals. Did you know that there are people who take care of animals at the zoo?
And as they interact with others, their peers and friends, conflict will inevitably arise. Before you jump in to help, though, let them try to solve the conflict themselves. This is important because when it comes to career, there's going to be a lot of conflicting decisions that they have to make on their own. So you want to prepare your kids with the right skill sets. And if you know someone with a cool job, introduce your kid to them. Let them ask questions directly. Don't push them to stick with one thing, but do pay attention to what keeps coming back. What are those skills that your kids keep showing? What are those toys that they keep playing with? And finally, help them to see how school subjects connect to real life because school is going to be a big part of their life at this age. And again, here's something that I need you to understand. Career development isn't something that starts in high school. It is happening right now at every stage of your child's development. Your 3 years old who is fascinated with how things work could indicate an early interest in engineering. Your 8 years old who loves organizing their room could indicate business or project management abilities or even building. Your teenager's passion for social justice could lead to law, social work, or activism. The key is matching your approach to their developmental stages while keeping your eyes open for patterns and persistent interests. And I would highly, highly recommend keeping a journal to track these patterns about your child. Sometimes, school also gives you report about your child's interests. So make sure to keep those artifacts. It will be useful later in life. Alright, that's it for this video. It's a short one, but in my next video, we'll dive into adolescence and college age, which is the most critical stage for career development, but can be anxiety inducing for you as a parent and your kid. If this was helpful, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments what stage is your child in right now and what career interests are they showing. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, bye!